All right.
So our topic is about Common Core, and for our side, we would like to abolish the Common Core. So for Common Core, the state of national standards, that's basically the state of national standards for America now. Ever since it was implemented in 2010, when they made it in 2009, it was started after the No Child Left Behind failed miserably from the Bush administration, and so during the Obama administration, he decided to take a head start and implement Common Core, hoping that we would all be on the same level for education. State school chiefs and governors recognize the value of consistent, real-world learning goals to ensure that all students, regardless of where they live, are graduating high school, prepared for college, career, and life. From the site itself, it says, the Common Core is a set of high-quality academic standards in mathematics and English language arts and literacy. These learning goals outline what a student should know and should be able to do at the end of each grade. However, I'm stating that it should be abandoned by all school systems that have it in place because it is not accurate in helping students learn and achieve at the standard that is placed upon them. It is an unfair program and is not fair for those with disabilities, the less fortunate, public schools, and teachers. And it is also not creative or innovating. The first reason is it is not accurate in helping students learn and achieve at the standard that is placed upon them. Being that there is too much standardized testing, because tests are meant as checkpoints to check progress, not to place your whole entire grade on it or get you into a college that you really, really want to get into, as you guys have been through the SATs where it's been heavily placed on you guys. And the higher the stakes are, Valerie Strauss, who is an education researcher, states that although proponents argue that the Common Core state standards promotes critical thinking skills and student-centered learning, research demonstrates that imposed standards, when linked with high-stakes testing, not only deprofessionalizes teaching and narrows curriculum, but in doing so also reduces the quality of education and student learning, engagement, and success. It is also a huge impact on student psychological well-being. Without an understanding that the scores have not been proven to be valid or fair for determining the proficiency or college readiness, students and their parents are both likely to internalize failing labels with corresponding beliefs about the academic potential just from standardized test scores. She also states that written mostly by academics and assessment experts, many with ties to testing companies, the Common Core standards have never been fully implemented and tested in real schools before it was actually put into place. Of the 135 members on the official Common Core review panels, the consulting firm that has directed the Common Core project for the NGA, there were very, very few classroom teachers and anyone who were current administrators to actually help develop the actual program. So second point is that it is an unfair program, and being that it is an unfair program, it fails to have accommodations for kids with disabilities and such. The Common Core is a precursor of No Child Left Behind, and they do have similar traits, and some of the similar traits include that it is a one-size-fits-all. There is barely any accommodation for those who have disabilities, or there are differences between physical and cognitive, but there are capabilities for those with cognitive disabilities to be able to still function as well as the normal children. This is because it is a one-size-fits-all, it's an extremely warped yardstick. As an educator, Catherine Beale says that, I know these tests are only one measure, one snapshot of student achievement. Unfortunately, they are the make or break assessment that determines our status with the Department of Education for the children and for the teachers. She also says that Common Core goals are abstract and schematic, collectively constituting a one-size-fits-all. As the curricular materials, they might be altered or presented in multiple ways, but only within the framework of Common Core. So even for kids with disabilities, it doesn't exactly state how they could accommodate the kids with disabilities or anyone else in it. Next, Stan Carr analyzes the problems with Common Core and realizes that, he says, an appalling increase in the inequality and child poverty surrounding our schools, categories in which the United States leads the world, and that tells us far more about the source of our educational problems than the uneven quality of state curriculum standards. He goes into saying multiple rounds of budget cuts and layoffs that have left 34 of the 50 states providing less funding for education than they did 5 years ago, and the elimination of more than 300,000 teaching positions, a wave of privatization that has increased the number of publicly funded but privately run charter schools by 50%, while nearly 4,000 public schools have been closed in the same period. My last point was that it is not creative or innovating, being that there's a teacher blogger that I found, Jose Wilson. He puts it as, people who advocate for the Common Core standards miss the bigger picture. They came as a package deal with the new teacher evaluations, higher stakes testing, and austerity measures, including school closings. The Common Core is just the last of a series of politicized and incentivized business models inappropriately being applied to education. That ties into who actually created Common Core, which was actually the most testing companies created Common Core instead of actually implementing teachers and current administration. During the No Child Left Behind, going back to that, since this is a precursor to it, that law gave states the impossible goal of achieving 100% proficiency in English and math by 2014. Because of that, Obama wanted to launch Race to the Top, which was created to spur innovation and reforms in the state and local districts for K-12 education. The result was that there was a huge standardized testing craze used to rate students, teachers, and schools that led to stressed out students, frustrated teachers, anxious administrators, and cheating and closed schools. So that led to more lost jobs, more schools, frustrated teachers because they are lacking the creative methods now, and they're all seeing the students being broken apart because of how much confidence they lack.